If you've ever seen the show Suits, it is totally addicting.
That's right. We're not in Kansas anymore. Let's move, Dorothy.
But it is so far from reality that I find myself screaming at my TV through almost every episode. If the law was really practiced this way, a lot more lawyers would be in jail. I just finished watching the entire series of Suits, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to go over the 4 things that would never happen in reality. I'm specifically going to talk about season 6, so if you haven't seen it yet, spoiler alert, don't watch this video if you haven't seen season 6 yet. My name is Diane Bass. I am a criminal defense attorney, and I represent people who have been charged with crimes or are under investigation. I also critique TV legal shows that are so far from reality.
I follow procedure to the letter.
What the f***? So let me give you the context of season 6. So this whole show is basically about the fact that Harvey Specter hires this guy who's not a lawyer. And so everybody that knows about it in the law firm is therefore committing fraud because they're allowing this non-lawyer to pretend he's a lawyer. So just to show you how far from reality this show is, Mike actually passed the bar in the show, but he never went to Harvard. Well, in California, you just have to pass the bar to be a lawyer. So he actually could have been a lawyer if the show was shot in LA instead of New York. I don't know what the law is in New York, but anyway. Okay, so it's TV, I get it, it's not reality. But during season 6, there were so many things that were so far off. So these are the 4 things that made me want to drink and throw things at my TV. The first thing was that there were so many times when people were talking about how the jury was going to find Mike innocent. They go on and on about Mike was innocent. Everyone in the firm practically was saying Mike was innocent. Okay, so in a criminal case, you are either guilty or not guilty. You are never found innocent. The prosecution has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty of the crime, and that's it. So if they haven't met the elements, the jury can still think that you're guilty, but they have to find you not guilty. So in the legal world, there is no such thing as being found innocent. You can be found not guilty, but not innocent. Point number 2. There are so many scenes where one of the lawyers is in chambers with the judge. That is illegal. It is called ex parte communication. You cannot have a conversation about a case with the judge without both parties being present. So how fair would it be if one attorney, like the prosecutor or the defense attorney, was allowed to go into chambers and talk to the judge privately about a case and the other party didn't know about it? That would be an instant mistrial. Number 3, trial dates. It is so insane the way they set trial dates in a week when they've just gotten the case. There is no way you can be ready that quickly. Most criminal cases take months, if not years, before they go to trial. And then they've got one attorney advising the other attorney, oh, we just moved it up a week. That doesn't happen. So once you've been charged with a crime and you've been to court, a trial date might be set, but usually it isn't set for many, many months. Or if it is, it just continues to be continued so that the parties have a chance to review all the discovery and they can get experts and do investigation and prepare their defense. I have had federal cases that have gone on for years and years, not weeks like you see in these stupid TV shows. Actually, I'm totally addicted to Suits and I love it, but still, it's really frustrating.
Donna, schedule another tea party with Joy as soon as possible.
So it is impossible for one party to ask the court to move up a trial date because that's, again, ex parte communication. There have to be grounds, there should be a hearing. If nothing else, there have to be papers filed. So that's so completely insane, and I'm like throwing my shoes at this point. So what happens in real life if we need to move a trial date? In federal court, we enter into a stipulation where the parties sign the document. Usually the client signs the document agreeing to put the trial date out so that we can have more time to prepare, and then the judge would sign the order and we would all receive a copy of it at the same time. In most cases, the judge will sign the order because the judge knows that we know more about our case than he or she does, and so they're going to give us the opportunity to prepare. Also, they don't want to set up any appellate issues. So here's another thing that's a total farce. Depositions in a criminal case don't happen. It doesn't exist. There is something called a conditional exam if a witness is going to be unavailable, like they're really old and they might die, so they can do a deposition of that person. But apart from that, no one is deposed, especially not a defendant in a criminal case. In the series Suits, you see so many scenes where people that are involved in a criminal case are being deposed with a video camera in the conference room at the law firm. Totally unrealistic. Depositions are taken in civil cases where they are trying to gather information, and it's kind of a free-for-all. In criminal cases, you have a right to remain silent, and any defense attorney worth their salt is going to tell a client to shut the F up. But here's the one that takes the cake. Again, if you haven't watched season 6, don't watch this. But before the jury comes back with their verdict, Mike goes to the Attorney General and is trying to make a deal with her. There is no way on God's green earth that she would be able to talk to him without his lawyer present. Now, there's a little kind of where they say Mike is representing himself, but still in that kind of a situation, the AG would definitely want to have his other attorney present just to cover her butt, if for no other reason. If this ever happened, I would definitely be asking the court for a mistrial, and I would be calling the state bar to file a complaint against the prosecutor. So if you haven't watched Suits, as much as it drives me crazy as an attorney, it is totally addicting, and I absolutely loved it. And the guy who played Harvey Specter is gorgeous. Gabriel Macht, I love you. But your show is so unrealistic. So if you enjoyed this video, watch other videos on my YouTube channel or wherever you found this video. And if you or a loved one are facing criminal charges or you're under investigation, contact my office. I'm happy to help.